and a privilege for me to be standing here, especially being a student from the school. To speak to you about some of the experiences in my life as a military man, and also share some leadership lessons which I learned over a period of time from some exceptional leaders I served under, some peers, some subordinates, and of course the good old hard way, rolling up the sleeves. Leadership, as we are all aware, is not confined only to the military. I know there are tons and tons of material written on leadership, books, articles, videos, and many of us will be wondering what new today. Well, on that count, maybe I will disappoint you. I have nothing new to say. However, coming from an old student, somebody who preferred to sit on the last row every time, my anecdotes and life experiences may find some resonance with the crowd here, and you'll identify yourself when I speak about them. So I'll be speaking to you, I'll be flashing some pictures, and I'll be recounting the tales of my time in the army. So this picture is about the time when I was a commanding officer. I was on a helicopter surveillance, trying to locate, establish contact with one of my platoons. Young Captain Hazarika was the leader of this team. The previous 2 years had seen some loss of lives. However, I was confident that the mission would be completed, because Hazarika was a man with extraordinary integrity. What is integrity? Integrity is the ability to do the right thing, always, especially when no one is watching you. And in the military, integrity is one of the most important facets which makes the team. And of course, the mission was completed. This is a very beautiful picture. Look closely. Each face, a smiling one. The man in the center, front row with an AK, is Major Paul, my immediate junior. They had just neutralized a group of infiltrators on the line of control after a challenging 72-hour operation. Each smiling face, each man on the screen was a loyal member of Charlie Company of 9th Battalion, VSM Regiment. Loyalty is what made them stand out. They were loyal to the company, they were loyal to the task. So always remain loyal. The day I assumed command of my battalion, and on the same day we bid farewell to the previous commanding officer as well as the previous battalion Subroto Major. A decade earlier, Dil Bahadur, the man in the center, was awarded Kirti Chakra. He had neutralized a group of infiltrators in Kashmir in a hand-to-hand combat. Great leaders like Subedar Major and Honorary Captain Dil Bahadur Thapa, they display courage in times of adversity. My friends, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to overcome fear. That was me describing the Battle of Razamla to Mr. Rajnath Singh, the Raksha Mantri, at the Trishul Memorial in Eastern Ladakh. Exactly 60 years ago, in 1962, Major Shaitan Singh and Charlie Company 13 Kumaon had given a bloody nose to the adversary on the icy heights of Razagla at altitudes of over 16,000 feet. The supremely disciplined company stood the ground, fought hand to hand, fought last man, last bullet, but only 6 of the 120 living to share the tales of bravery and discipline. Discipline. Discipline is the ability to control your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Getting up early and making a bed is part of discipline. That's the lowest form. And it has no ends, no bounds. As I handed over the baton of command to my successor on 10th of June 2014, I remember whispering in his ears, "The buck stops here." My friends, leaders are accountable for every action they take, for every decision they make. The young group of 20 cadets of Bravo Squadron in May 1994, just before we graduated from the National Defence Academy. Later, every one of them had a stellar career, often changing roles frequently as per requirement. Everyone an achiever. The common trait they had was adaptability. Nothing is constant, everything changes. And if you are adaptable, if you are able to adapt, it will take you much ahead in life. So as a leader, you have to be adaptable to changing situations. This is a beautiful picture of when I was a brigade commander in Ladakh, taken in the winters. This was my close team. It was only later when I saw this picture I realized that this group of diverse people, a Sikh, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Christian, and a Hindu, we epitomized the ethos of teamwork. When I was a commanding officer, I used to often boast very proudly that I have 1,000 soldiers who willingly and happily were ready to follow me to death if victory would be ours. And as a commanding officer, I couldn't have asked for anything more. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no substitute to leading by example. Setting high standards of conduct for others to follow. Leading by example is not words, it's actions which speak louder than words. It's about being a role model. It's about inspiring people to follow you. I took this picture as a brigadier in 2022 as a tribute to a daring action of 2015. So at that point in time, 2015, I was a colonel posted in Ladakh, and I was responsible for conduct operations in these areas. So one fine day, our adversary, they decided to carry out some land maneuvers on the far bank of the lake, and they moved some vehicles and machinery onto the Indian side. Unfortunately, the senior leadership that day, they were engaged elsewhere. I trusted my instincts and launched quick reaction teams in boats right across the lake. The adversary had no option but to literally run back. Ladies and gentlemen, an important trait of a true leader is being decisive. You cannot procrastinate or taking any decision. This is an important facet in later on life, the obstacle training competition in Indian Military Academy, just a month before we graduated as officers. That's me, pointed with the app, and the one in the circle is Naveen Gulia, my postmate. 10 seconds after this picture was taken, Naveen Gulia suffered a fall. He landed on his back, broke his neck, and he was paralyzed on the spot, leg downwards. Today, he is an adventurist, a poet, a writer, a motivational speaker, and most of all, he's a philanthropist. He's resilient to any kind of setback or challenge. It may sound very cliche. Setbacks are not failures, they are opportunities for you to learn and grow. This is one endearing legacy which I left behind in my battalion. Just started when I was a commanding officer. Every day in the morning, the first thing that I used to do used to be to greet the birthday boy. This picture is that of Aulad Abdul Jafar. A leader has to have empathy. And what is empathy? Empathy is understanding and sharing the views of the men you command. Leadership is not only about shouting orders. It is about understanding the people who work under you and caring for them and taking them along. Embrace empathy. So this is Subedar Ranjit Nath of my unit on 15th of August 2014. He's sharing his views to me as a commanding officer as to what more should I do to be a better commanding officer. A leader must have humility. A leader must be humble enough to encourage in the workspace people to contribute with their ideas. Create an environment where every contribution is important. Getting back to Kashmir in the early 2000s, again, my unit team, we were on a chase after infiltrators, and in this particular incident, we had to run across an area littered with landmines. Sipai Hoketo Sema from Nagaland, unmindful of his personal safety, unselfish, he was the first man to enter the danger area. We closed in on the group of infiltrators We neutralized them. It was a successful operation, but it came at a great personal cost. He lost his left leg in a landmine blast. His unselfish act that day is what resulted in success. As a leader, you are required to be unselfish, place the needs of people below you ahead of your own requirements, ahead of your own needs. Your needs will automatically be taken care of. 1st August 1918 was the day when 9th Battalion, the Assam Regiment, was raised in Shillong by then Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Mukherjee. A great vision for the unit. He set his vision on stone, and that runs in the DNA of the battalion till date, urging us for greater glories year on year. Leaders have to have vision and the ability to inspire people to achieve the vision. A great vision will inspire your team to work harder to achieve the goals. I urge each one of you, as you embark on your journey, to imbibe the attributes which I spoke of, and not only as an aspiration, but as a way of life. Leadership is about your ability to inspire people to achieve goals. The safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always, and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of the men who command come next. Your own ease, comfort, and safety come last, always, and every time. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.